Natalie, just talk to us about the excitement within the squad heading into the second leg.
It's a massive game. There's a lot of excitement. I think we can take a lot of confidence from Sunday's game as well. I would say it's probably one of our best performances, and we know what's at stake, what we can achieve, making history, winning tomorrow. But concentration on training today, game tomorrow, big game, and there's a lot of excitement.
What did you learn from the first leg, and how confident are you that you can finish the job?
They are a good team. We can't underestimate them. They're direct, they're experienced, but we know our qualities, and we are confident, really confident going into tomorrow's game. Like I say, it's probably one of our better performances this season. We were together, we fought, created a lot of chances, and it was fun to play in. So we're very, very excited and looking forward to tomorrow.
And a chance at history as well. Not many players have that chance. Just how exciting a prospect is it to make the Champions League group stages?
Wow, even just listening to that just now, it's wow, it gives me goosebumps. It's hard to not get too ahead of yourself because we haven't achieved that yet, but if we do that, that would just be an unbelievable achievement, and something we all want, we're desperate to get, but we need to stay focused. Like I say, training today, game tomorrow, and let's just see what happens, but I'm feeling very confident.
Elena, what did you draw most from that first leg game, from Sunday's game?
That they were, or I expected exactly what I expected, and they did what I thought they were going to do. And then for me, I think we executed the game plan really well. The players performed really well. We created enough chances to win with more goals. And obviously, like for me, it's just about learning from what we can do better to not make them threat us like they did on Sunday. But also, there's going to be more space for us to attack, and we just need to do a little bit better decision making, and hopefully we'll get the job done.
Just given the politics around this game and the fact that you have two games at home, the two-legged tie, they're both at home, do you feel as though you might never get a better chance to make it into the group stages?
There's nothing that I've been thinking about. I'm just focused on the game. Even if there's a special game that we know, it's just a normal game for me. It's about preparing the girls the same way. We need to go perform well, we need to execute the game plan, and that's it. Obviously, like Nat is talking about, you can hear in her voice how excited she is, but for me it's about being calm enough to know that we know exactly how to threat them, we know exactly what to be aware of, and then what's the occasion, we know that it's very special, but for me it's a normal game, it's 90 minutes football, and that's what we're going to focus on.
And just being 90 minutes away from the group stages of the Champions League, it's an environment that Celtic have never been in. Has there been preparations this week just in handling the pressure that comes with being at that level?
First of all, it's Celtic Women, have never been in that occasion before, but I think for me it's about, we've talked about it, it's obviously like we know what's the occasion, we know how special this moment is for us, the opportunity is, but it's all about focus on the game, focus on the task, don't let emotions take over. And I think that's something that we've been trying to do really well. You can see that on Sunday, like the chances we create, we couldn't have done that if we were stressed, if we were nervous. So I think we've talked about it, and it's now getting back to training and focus on the task and what we need to do. And I'm very confident, like Nats is saying, that we'll get a good performance in.
Natalie, is this the biggest game of your career?
It's hard to think about that, like I say, because we've not achieved anything, but I'm excited. It's a massive game, and we've got experienced players in the squad that are ready, and we're up for this. The younger players as well, the excitement coming from them is unbelievable. I think we've got a good mixture in the squad. It is a massive game. You try not to get too ahead of yourself because, as Elena said, we've not experienced this as a squad. I think pressure is a good thing, a positive thing. It pushes you to be the best. And for me, playing for Celtic, there's always pressure. So regardless if it's a league game, a cup game, a Champions League game, for me it doesn't change. We want to win. We go out there to win every game. And there's going to be a bit of nerves, excitement, but that's the only way you can get to your best. So, yeah.
What's your special Champions League memory?
God, somebody asked me this the other day actually in the squad. I'd probably go way back to when I was 16. I made my debut when I was playing for Hibs. years and years ago, so to score again in the Champions League would be something special. I know my dad always comes to games, would probably cry, so yeah, that would be something special for me. But just to be able to represent Celtic in the Champions League is a special moment, and I was saying to Elena there when we were doing the photos, imagine playing at Celtic Park in front of home fans in a Champions League game. Like, to bring the group stages here would just be something so special.
Is that a possibility?
If there's a possibility, yes, I think so.
Sorry.
No, on you go.
Natalie, I just wanted to ask you, we've seen you take a leadership role off the park and on the park in previous seasons. How do you see your role going into a huge game like this in terms of the leadership of the squad?
I don't like to be reminded, but I am the oldest player in the squad, so I would say it's experience. My role doesn't really change. I'm just me. I try and push players in training. I'm there to support them off the pitch as well. I always kind of think you take inspiration from people, the way they train and the way they play, so that's what I do. I focus on that, and if I encourage, I support as much as I can. Positivity, that's what I'm a big believer in, and togetherness, so I try and promote that, and hopefully through my performances I can inspire the girls as well.
And has that, we've seen you sort of be the person who wins the ball back a lot in midfield. Obviously winning that battle in a game like this is hugely crucial. How important is it to have those creative players around you as well to kind of...
Of course it is. Football's a team game. We need all different kind of players. That's the bit I love, is fighting for the ball and being able to pass to other players that are a wee bit more creative than I am. But yeah, we need a mixture in a team. I think we've got a great balance. You've seen that on Sunday, the amount of chances we created. And I think we're all going to have to fight tomorrow. It's going to be a tough game. We can't underestimate this team, because like Elena says, they did create chances against us, but if we're on it like we were Sunday, I'm feeling very confident.
Elena, we've talked about how you like to be unpredictable and make it difficult for oppositions to assess how you're going to turn up and play. Do you think that plays into your hands, having these two fixtures so close together, and will you be changing things up for the next one?
Well, if I tell you I'm not unpredictable now.
That's a very good point. The other thing that I just wanted to ask was about, I wanted to ask about Hannah's injury, Hannah Kerner, and whether there was any outcome of that. But also before that, Lawton coming in, a very different type of player to Hannah on that right hand side. And does that play into your feelings about how we might start the game in terms of personnel tomorrow?
No, obviously, I think Lawton coming in, her debut against Partick Thistle, and then obviously coming in and showing, played against Montrose, and then now getting debut in Champions League, you can see the potential. I brought her in for a reason, and I think she's been coming in with great energy. She's hungry, she's fearless, and she was very close to score one of the goals. So the bad news with Hannah is yes, she has a fracture in her wrist, she'll be out. And then we have other players that are not going to be in the squad. We have Goldie, who's going to be out for, we don't know how much time, but she has a stress fracture, so she'll be out. And then we also have Jenny Smith, who's not going to be in the squad. So I'm very happy with the recruitment I've done, because injuries is a part of football. So we still have a lot of players that I can use on the bench. That what I call is game changers, because that's what the bench has been for us during the season.
Yeah, adding to the squad on deadline day, maybe anticipating a busy schedule leading up to Christmas?
Well, obviously right now I'm just focusing on the games, but I'm always working about looking ahead of the window coming up. I'm also looking at the window in the summer. I'm always trying to be ready for what I need for this window and for the next. So I'm always on work, trying to think. But obviously for now, we just focus on Champions League. But, And
what would it mean for the club as a whole? Just obviously it means a huge amount for the women's team, but for the whole club, what would it mean to get through tomorrow?
I think it will mean a lot, no? We write history again, and that's what we want to do. I've said from the start when I joined Celtic is I want to make sure that we put Celtic on the map, and if we get to group stage, that's exactly what we're going to do. Obviously, we also won the title last season, so we're in a start of something new, something good, something big, and for me, it's always been important to build that foundation. And I feel like now when the girls can experience this, hopefully it just makes them more hungry to get even more successful.
You mentioned when you arrived, Elena, about the vision that you had for the club and growing the club. you then won the title. In terms of the Champions League, how much will this accelerate how you envisage, or where you envisage this club going forward? What will this do for this team?
I don't know like exactly what it will do, but for me, it just brings that, you know, excitement of this is what Celtic Women is about, and we want to attract the best players to come here to make sure that it's even more successful. And obviously Nats has been for a long time. For her, the journey from where she started to where it's right now, I think people can see that we're doing changes. The club is supporting. It's not going to go fast. Obviously, I signed a long-term project, and this is what all hard work is about. Like, we work hard to get to these situations, and for me, I just hope that the players feels like, you know, this is where they want to be. This is the dream that they are, like this, they're living the dream. Because getting into the group stage means that we're the top 16 teams in Europe. I mean, that's just a massive thing. Mm-hmm. I get goosebumps only thinking about it. But, you know, for me, everything's is always about the players. And for me, the vision of getting there will mean so much, because I know that will make them even more excited to belong or play for Celtic.
Natalie, how much of a catalyst can tomorrow be for the longer term for players to make sure that you're competing at the Champions League every season to gain that experience?
Yeah, it does. It's a big game for that, and I think sometimes the Scottish League is overlooked by WSL down in England, because obviously the investment down there is bigger than what we've got just now. But I think if we achieve something special tomorrow, I think it'll show that we are a competitive league. There's a lot of talented players in Scotland that are maybe overlooked with the WSL, and yeah, like Elena says, we want the top players to play in Scotland. So yeah, it's a big game. I think it'll be great for Scottish women's football, great for Celtic. So yeah, it's something special that can be achieved tomorrow.
And Elena, where would that triumph tomorrow rank in your managerial career?
Right now, top. I mean, like what we've been sharing together, it's been very special for me from the first time. And for me to achieve another big thing with these players, the staff, the club, every people around, you know, like from the Jackie in the kitchen with the Archie, or like the reception, like it just means so much to share something so successful with all the people around, because I feel like now it's my home. Like the players, like I have big love for them. I just want them to be as successful as possible, and for me that's what my job is all about.
Natalie, are you able to kind of put into words, you said yourself as a more experienced player, and obviously played through like the SPL and all those kind of formats, and it's like amateur, and now you're sitting here at a press conference talking about Champions League qualification. And even just 5 years ago, where Celtic was, can you even put into words, you talk about all the future, but in this past 5 years, how much has happened at Celtic and Scotland in general? Can you even comprehend?
No. It's been it feels slow, but then it feels fast at the same time. There's been a lot of changes, and there's a few of us have stuck with it, because at times you do get frustrated. But since Elena's come in, and before that Fran as well done very well to progress the team, but since Elena's come in, you see the improvement and the excitement around the club, the togetherness, and yeah, there's been a great shift in the last 6 months, and yeah, maybe I'm coming to the end of my career. I'm glad I've managed to experience it, and push others on as well. But yeah, there's been massive changes, and the club's doing well. Scottish women's football is doing well. I think people again compare to WSL and think we're going slowly, but we are getting there. And again, yeah, tomorrow night, if we achieve this will be something very, very special.
Yeah, and then Elena, I just wanted to ask as well, I've seen the first leg created loads of chances, but only managed to score one. Is that something that you're trying to work on this past week, or is that something that you trust your players just to score this week?
I feel like during the whole season so far, obviously, like we've been playing against teams that are in the bottom. We've been playing against teams that are in the top 5. We always create chances right now. It's more about like getting that touch over the line that has been missing out a little bit. But you saw that against on Sunday. We should have won 5-1, and I'm stick to it. Like we should have won 5-1. And for me, I would be worried if we didn't create chances, but we are. So we're still under development, we're still under the process. The season is going to be long. People have been talking about, especially you journalists, about, oh, I'm rotating a lot, I'm doing that. But look at us now. We're still unbeaten. We're in very close of getting into the group stage. We have so many games ahead of us still. We have injuries. And I think for me, the answer is there. Like, I believe in this group so much, and hopefully we can do something amazing tomorrow. And then that will make us even more hungry of being more confident, because what we have achieved, if we achieve it, which I'm confident that we can do, then I think it says it all.
Elena, when you first arrived at the club, you mentioned that Henrik Larsson had been one of your big heroes growing up. Do you remember any of Henrik's European goals for Celtic?
I can see many of them in my head, but I feel like for me, I can see a lot of goals because he scored so many. I don't know exactly when he scored what, but Henrik is a legend, and he's also, like, to be honest, like, he's supportive. Like, he follows our results. He likes our stories, Instagram posts.
I was just about to say that.
And for me, it just shows that, you know, we stick around. And for me, his support to the women's team has been great. So I'm a big fan of him.
I was just about to say, I thought he had liked your Instagram post when you had qualified into this round 2, and I wanted just to verify that that was correct.
He follows us. He supports us.
Have you heard from you, had a message or anything from him? Or?
Maybe I have.
And if maybe he's back here for maybe a Champions League game or something, you might get a chance to meet him.
Listen, for me, first of all, let's focus on Thursday, tomorrow. Make sure that we are confident, excited, we get the job done, and then whatever happens after, maybe he shows up, maybe not, but I know that he supports us, and that's the most important.